The Pro Bowl took place over the weekend, and let's just say it wasn't the best product, and some Hall of Famers weighed in on it. We're going to talk about it after the bumper. Stay tuned. What is up, everybody? What is up, everybody? My name is JeffLightsYJr. here with the Black Boss channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and notification bell because we upload every single day. Now, the Pro Bowl, the NFL Pro Bowl, which is supposed to celebrate the best players in the NFL, took place over the weekend in Vegas ahead of Super Bowl 56, and it it wasn't the best product. Let's just call it what it was. It was not the best product, as it was essentially a glorified two-hand touch game. And it is very understandable why the NFL doesn't want live tackling in their Pro Bowls anymore, simply because, let's just be honest, these guys make way too much money now. In the 90s, they didn't make as much money as they do in the 2020s. And the guys who play in the 90s, Pro Football Hall of Famers, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, now at Jackson State, and also an HBCU legend, Shannon Sharpe, another Pro Football Hall of Famer, were not fans of the product that they saw on the field during the Pro Bowl. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to look at a pair of tweets from Shannon and from Coach Prime, and let's talk about it. I won't spend a long time on it, but it is interesting, and think of some solutions. So these are images of the Pro Bowl. This is a tweet put out by Yahoo Sports, and Shannon says, "Are they not tackling anymore in the Pro Bowl?" Question mark. I'm sorry, but this isn't football. I played in this game numerous times, and I love the NFL, but this is embarrassing. Coach Prime went on to say, "Lord help me. I'm watching the at NFL Pro Bowl, and I remember when we were proud and appreciative of that accolade. We went to Hawaii to prove that we were more than worthy, so we competed at practice, and in the game, I wanted you to know that Prime was Prime. What happened and when?" Well, Coach, I'll tell you what happened. What happened was the best player started opting out. So the Pro Bowl this year, I was watching it. I didn't watch it for long, but I tuned in a little bit, and they talked about how they had over 120, maybe 130 Pro Bowl selections, because every time that you actually select a Pro Bowler, whether it's 22 or 44, whatever the best players or whatever, if those guys opt out, you have to select another Pro Bowler. Now, the original guys are still labeled Pro Bowlers. They just opt out of the game, whether they just don't want to play. Some of them are in the Super Bowl, et cetera, et cetera. They just whatever. But you have to choose a replacement. And then once you name him a Pro Bowler, if he chooses not to go, then you have to name his replacement. So you get down to guys like, no offense, but you get down to guys like Mac Jones, who clearly didn't have a Pro Bowl season, but on his resume, when he's up for awards or Hall of Fame or whatever, it'll say he was a Pro Bowler his rookie year. Take that with, make of that as you may. But when that happens, that dilutes the game. Also, what dilutes the game is there's 17 games in the NFL season now. A lot of guys don't want to play an 18th game. So that dilutes the game. Also, what dilutes the game is these guys make a lot of money. And so because they make so much money, your team might incentivize you not to play or not to play hard, or incentivize the NFL to, ain't no live tackling. I pay this wide receiver $20 million a year. I pay this quarterback $40 million a year. I pay this left tackle $30 million a year. I don't want nobody diving at his legs, cut blocking. He just had 17, 18 weeks of that. No, we don't want that in a game that means absolutely nothing. So there's no incentives. There's actually incentives not to go hard. So when all of that is working with you, and you play a violent sport, so the only way to really play football is with violence. It's physicality. It's getting into a car wreck. And you just did 17, 18 weeks of that. Some of y'all in the playoffs did 19, 20 weeks of it. So teams and players are like, no, what is the risk versus reward? There's no real reward besides getting to hang out in Vegas, or it used to be Hawaii, then it was Florida, now it's Vegas. There's no real reward besides saying, I was a Pro Bowler and hanging out and doing some cool stuff, interacting with the fans. But there's a ton of risk if it's actually a live game. So that is the difference. Guys, Prime, Shannon, they were making good money. They weren't making 30, 40 million, $45 million a year. In Patrick Mahomes' case, $50 million a year. It's different. It's never going back. So the ways to fix it is to just alternate it. You have to swap it out for something. Keep your skills competitions. I think people like that kind of stuff. And turn it into a routes on air, a 7-on-7 or something, a glorified 7-on-7 where guys, just run routes, fade routes, do different stuff like that. You're going to have to do some gimmicks because an actual game, you just name Pro Bowlers, name your 42, 53 best Pro Bowlers or whatever, and then don't actually play a football game. Just do 7-on-7, do fade routes, skill competitions, and make it a Pro Bowl weekend or week or whatever, but not actually play an 11-on-11 game because, like Shannon said, and like Coach Prime said, that's not the product people want to see. They're not tuning in to see guys play two-hand touch. It's just not, that's not football. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Leave your thoughts in the chat. Once again, my name is JeffLightsYJr. with the Black Boss channel and Victory Formation. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JLightsy7, on Twitter and Instagram at JLightsy7. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button before you head out. And I will see you next time. Peace.